Welcome back, everyone. It's the Judge. We are back at it, ready to have some fun with Bardstown Bourbon Company, the Fusion Series number 9. Yes, number 9. The end of the road for the Fusion Series. But before we dive into this real quick, huge shout out to my newest patrons, my good friend Dennis P. and Darius J. So Dennis and Darius, thank you, gentlemen, for supporting the Judge. I really do appreciate all the support and all the love, as well as really for all my patrons, many who have been with me from the beginning. So really appreciate all the support from all my patrons. You know, we have a blast. We, again, did a barrel pick recently, out at Starlight. That was amazing. Just kind of hanging out with everyone even before the barrel pick. So really appreciate all the love and support. And then again, always kind of going back and forth on Discord. So for my patrons, thank you. As well as everyone who watches the channel, all my subscribers as well. Much love and respect to you guys and ladies as well. All right. So we are at, which is sad to say, the end of the road for Bardstown Bourbon Company, the Fusion Series. Yes, the Fusion Series is a wrap, folks. Pull the carpet out. It's done. So think back to, let's just talk about the Fusion Series as a whole. So there have been 9 releases, with this one being number 9, the final one. But essentially the Fusion Series was all about Bardstown kind of blending in, at that point in time, their younger whiskey, anywhere from like 3 to 4 years, their younger whiskey with older aged whiskey, and kind of fusing them and blending them together in order to create a very nice, well-balanced bourbon, right? And that's essentially what they were doing for the longest time. And then ultimately their goal was to discontinue this, the whole blending, the fusion, and just leveraging truly their, what they refer to as like their origin series, which is 100% their own distillate, which are these 2 bottles. And the rye, which we will get to in a upcoming episode. So, now we have the origin series. It's there. It's good to go. It's 100% their own distillate. So they're truly ending this whole blending experiment. So now let's see how they did. Let's pour a little bit out and just check this one out. So origin series, Fusion Series. Woo. The Fusion Series, number 9. Price about the same as the others, about $60, $65. Depending on where you find it at. This is one where they kind of, hyped it up a little bit, but it just started to hit shelves more recently. So it started to kind of be hyped up a little bit at the end of last year, beginning of this year, but we're now just starting to see it actually hit the market, actually now in the April-May timeframe, which is cool. All right, let's get into this one. So we have this one coming in at 96.8 proof. 96.8 proof. From a mash bill, let's dive into the mash bill. So, mash bill. This is 48% Bardstown Bourbon Company, 4-year bourbon, 75% corn, 21% rye, 4% malted barley, 22% Bardstown Bourbon Company's bourbon, 4 years, 60% corn, 26% rye, 10% wheat, and 4% malted barley, so a 4 grain there. And last but not least, the blend also has 30% of Kentucky bourbon, aged 12 years, 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% malted barley. So it's a really good blend of their own whiskey, plus obviously having in that 12-year source whiskey that they kind of blend in together. But let's dive into it real quick. All right. I can't believe we are truly at the end of the road as it relates to the Fusion Series. This is crazy. I mean, it's truly crazy. Wow. Not bad, though. I'll tell you on the nose. Not bad at all. So I have a question for everyone out there. Has anyone out there had all 9 from number 1, Fusion Series number 1, all the way to number 9? Has anyone had all 9? I personally have either had or owned 2 through 9, but I did miss out on number 1. That's the only one I missed out on. So I'd love to know. So definitely drop me a comment. Let me know if you've had all 9 or if you own all 9. Let me know your thoughts on that. Please make sure you also hit the like button, as well as hit the subscribe button, as well as hit the bell so you get notification each and every time I release new content. All right, so from a nose standpoint, this is somewhat similar but yet different than the majority of their other releases. So when you think of the Fusion Series, typically you think of a lot of honey, a smidge of vanilla, and often like soft like apples, pear, kind of a fruit kind of a note. I get all that in the nose, But for this one, I'm getting a lot more pepper in it too. Wow, a lot more pepper. So you definitely get like the apples, you definitely get the pear, you definitely get a little bit of honey, smidge of vanilla, but you get a lot more pepper. I don't think I've ever had as much of like a pepper forward fusion series as I have before, in the past. Wow, this is interesting. All right, well, here we go, friends. Cheers, everybody. That's interesting. That is interesting. Hold on, let me get a little bit more. .8 proof. So, what's unique about this is that the pepper that I got in the nose, it definitely comes through in the palate and the finish, and it almost overrides the fruit notes in there, the apples, the pear, but then also even like the honey as well. It almost kind of like overrides it, like it almost kind of beats it up a little bit in a way. Very unique for sure. Let me get a smidge more just before I can give you the final verdict. That's extremely complex. That's definitely different than every other fusion series that I think I've ever had before. All right. Well, the verdict is in. This may be a surprise to many people. Verdict is in. This is a split decision. Woo! Yes, it's a split decision. Let me explain the reason why. Typically, what I love about the fusion series is the fact that it's sweet, it's delicate, it's light, it's well balanced at the same time, and it's always a great whiskey in like those warmer months and warmer time of the year. This one is not as sweet and is not as fruit forward as it traditionally has been. It has a lot more pepper in it, and it's a complete, almost a complete different realm than the traditional fusion series. Is the whiskey good? Definitely. But is it what you typically would expect from the fusion series? Probably not, actually. So this is one I would say, try it at a bar, try it at a friend's house before you go and grab it. Only because if you're expecting similar to like fusion series number 6, 7, or 8, this is not it. But it's still very good. It's just a lot more peppery. So it's one that I would say definitely try it before you buy it. Until the next time, my friends, peace, cheers, and most important, salute. Take care.